We're out here in Oakland, Jack London Square today with Kenny Truong, the infamous, notorious top agent here in Oakland for Families Help since
11.
2011 to...
Missing 20 deals from a 10-year streak. Yeah.
So till year to date, 2020. And we're here to have a casual conversation with Kenny, how he's been able to grow his business. And the hope of today is for Kenny to share some of the strategies, tips, some of his thoughts with the audience so that we could build a business possibly as close, as similar to, or we can learn from Kenny and his track record. So Kenny, maybe you can share with us a little bit about where you came from and how you've been able to get to today and whatever's relevant you feel you want to share.
So I've been in real estate licensed for about 11 years. Was an assistant for 1 year, so actively selling for a little 9 years now. Got in just randomly. Some guy just asked me, "Do you want to be assistant?" Just like, because I was getting signs from auction.com. I used to install them all over the place from here to Clear Lake, Watsonville, whatnot.
And was that a job that you had?
Yeah, that was actually like a gig. When the economy crashed, I was still in college, so I was working like 4 or 5 different jobs at a time for like a nail salon, marketing company, passing out coffee holders and filers, like posters, working at Walmart for Sony, installing signs for this company. And then this guy came and just asked me for an assistant. So like I actually started being an assistant within 3 days. On Monday, I was out learning how to do CMAs, BPOs, installing lockboxes, signs, pretty much all the grunt work. It was a pretty fun year as I was in school trying to get that going.
So let me get this correct. You were going to school. Yeah. You had a gig with signs and some miscellaneous things.
Yeah.
And you were also working part-time for this real estate company.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. How many hours were you hustling at that time?
Probably like 80 to 90. I was young. I was like 23, 24. I had all the energy in the world. I would not do that again right now.
Well, humble beginnings then.
Yeah.
And then fast forward. What did the trajectory look like moving from there?
Was an assistant for a year, and then my friend and mentor at that time, Mayuri convinced me to get the person I was working with convinced me to get my license. And when I first signed on to this small boutique company that was Century 21 a couple months ago. So my original broker was like Denise Nguyen, Vinny Nguyen, and then Mayuri was my mentor. So I worked pretty aggressively. Vinny landed a big REO Fannie Mae account. He was selling 100 homes a year, which was pretty impressive. He was one of the very few people with that account. And then early on, like IDXs on your website was like a fresh concept. No one had it. I think I was the first person I know of, like in our entire general area, Oakland, Berkeley, whatnot, to have IDX on my website. And I took my broker's listings and post them manually on Zillow. And then I would go on Craigslist and post those listings on Craigslist. People were using Craigslist a lot before Redfin and Zillow and all those blew up. So I was redirecting traffic from there onto my website, and I was getting calls on that.
How'd you get the intuition to do something like that?
Just staying ahead of technology. I mean, when I first started, I was reading a lot of Inman News and Tech Savvy Agent by Chris Smith. Pretty much every single day, I was digesting that stuff like nothing. And I had all the time in the world and no real job, so like, why not?
Nice. Yeah. And where did that take you after setting up the IDX, posting at different places, getting the up calls?
Got me really fast into real estate. I did about 24 transactions between March to December my first year, which put me in a pretty upper tier in my market, like from zero. Next year I did about 25 deals. Within my third year of the business, I got really lucky. I partnered with Redfin as a partner agent when they were fresh. I ended up selling about 52 homes my third year by myself. Doing my own,
52, right?
Yeah, 52. Doing my own inspections, doing my own marketing. I had the GoPro on my chest, doing my own video upload, editing, touring homes like crazy. But that was a really, really fun high-speed experience.
Love that. And you did not have an assistant at that time?
No assistant. My fourth year, I brought on like a TC to help me, and I started growing my team. The first team was kind of a failure. I had some good, like one good person, and the other ones were kind of just steady. And after my fourth year, exact fourth year, so January-ish, my fifth year I came to climb real estate. And funny, I actually left everyone behind. I left like 5 people behind to start fresh and something new. And my partner Mayuri came over pretty quickly. And then that year I said, I'm not doing a team. But then a couple of people seeked me out that year. Hey, I want to join your team. I was like, I don't want to do a team. I was like, just let me give it a try. And that was a pretty big year, the fifth year of business.
Nice. One thing that I've never shared with Kenny, because we don't have many conversations, we're always hustling in our own backyard, is Actually, you were one of the inspirations for why I became a Redfin partner agent
Oh, wow.
for the Peninsula.
Nice.
Because back in the day, I would do my research too, and I would see people doing transactions, right?
Yeah.
Who was doing a volume of helping families. And you were one of them. And
Nice.
you were highly reviewed on Redfin, and clearly you were doing something right. So I looked into the program because obviously you were a partner at that time. So,
Cool.
but
Hear that.
I never shared that, but it's still a source of business for us to this day, but not the biggest. But as you know, in our business, we just want to get as many sources, service the people that come.
I
our
was
way.
Redfin got me a lot of business early on too, not just because they were sending me deals. I wanted to work with them my first year, but I was posting the videos to YouTube and embedding them on my website and copying over. In a Redfin, I would write the stupidest, funniest caption that I can think of, like really dumb things. And then people, of course, click on that and go on my website. So I was actually capturing leads from Redfin.
I love that.
Hopping over. But in my 4th year in business, I was like, I'm paying Redfin way too much. I think I did like 23 deals, close to about $8 million. $8 million was a lot of business back then. I was like a third of my income. Was it third? Yeah, like roughly.
With Redfin, right?
Yeah, with Redfin. No, I pay out Redfin a third. That was it. I was I'm paying these guys like 60, 70 grand a year.
Right.
Maybe I should take that money and put it in Zillow. So build up my own brand, and kind of after that, while I wasn't doing enough deals with them, they kicked me off the platform.
I see.
But I just rejoined them again a couple months ago.
Nice. And as you've seen the Redfin platform change in terms of being a partner and what the fees look like, and then what the client gets to. So, tell us a little bit about you winning Innovator of the Year with Inman, and how did you think you achieved that accolade?
So my 5th year in the business, so the first year I joined with Climb, I was doing a lot of email marketing, putting systems together like with Real Scout and Zapier, API, just integrations like email filters, just all kinds of interesting stuff that no one else is doing to save time. Like every day when I'm working my business, I try to find ways to save minutes a day. So
I love that.
Someone caught wind of that. It was Paul Hagee, Inman writer at the time. So he wrote this article on me and showing all the cool things I was doing, breaking things down. And then that was like maybe April.
Okay.
I think Inman came in like June, and I was nominated as one of the 16 agents that was most innovative agent of the year. I didn't even like think about it. I was like, there's no. I've been going Inman for 5 years, right? I was like, someone else is gonna win that knows people, and like lo and behold, shockingly, like they announced my name. I was actually crying at the time. I haven't cried for a while. I was so like just thrown off. I'm a kid from Oakland, young in my business. Why would you guys give me this award? But that really honestly put me on the map. And it was interesting because then that event too, I spoke on stage. I did like 2 local events, small little association stuff.
Yep.
But I was brought on that year to speak on the big stage, just for 1,000 people, about Instagram and social media and stuff. And I remember I was like slouched back and I was mumbling, like people couldn't hear me. I had no clue what to do.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a huge experience, and that skyrocketed my business, my career. Then people knew more about me, and then I got asked to speak a lot more. And now, like I probably speak 15-ish times a year.
Love that.
Floating around, and so super thankful for Inman. That's why I've attended every single Inman and New York, except one New York, for the last 10 years. So I've been to almost 20 Inman conferences.
And as we talk a little bit about trajectory too, I want to talk about some of the experiences of you speaking in front of people.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest things that you see people? What are some people asking you in terms of what they need help with, or what are they asking you for insight on?
I think the most common thing that people ask me when I speak is like the tools and systems I use to run a more effective business. Like I use a lot of automation in my business, and things that connect with each other or save you time. And then and the other part of that, I'll do like things on a presentation on like tools, but then I'll do a complete separate presentation like social media and how to brand yourself. And then I've done stuff just on teams. There's some steps that overlap, but they can be broken out into little categories.
Tell us a little bit more about taking obviously less time or tools that help you save time. Why is that important to you?
I think the more time you can save, the more time. I mean, obviously, the more time you save, the more time you can get done. And I think it's the more time I save, you can go on more appointments, and also you can delegate and leverage. Like this month, I think this is my second biggest month ever for listing appointments. This month I've been on 14 listing appointments in the last 28 days. So I have one more coming up. So within the 1 month, I'm going 15 appointments. And then the way like the structure, when the lead or inquiry comes in, it gets added to our CRM. I send it to my assistant through Asana, and then once she gets the request on Asana, she'll prep all the listing documents
Love
and
that.
get the box and stuff prepped. And then my partner agents will do the CMA, and I'll double check it. A lot of times I'll make some small changes to it, and then it's ready to go. So for me to prepare for a listing appointment, it usually takes me like half an hour to an hour. And I go, we do the appointment, we get the point, we win. We win like 80 to 90% of our appointments ever, and I track every single appointment we've had. And it just makes it easy to just to crank them out,
Love
but
that.
also be able to serve your clients at a very, very high level. Our quality of care and service is very high because we have everything on point.
Love that. So what you're saying is saving you time means you can do more productive things, right?
Yeah, so saving time definitely will do more productive things, but it lets me spend the time that's most important, which is engaging the client and talking to them, talking to other agents, negotiating, making sure marketing is on point, doing more Instagram, promoting the property.
Right.
So and not doing paperwork or checking is this done, is this done. Like I just love having checklists for everything.
Love that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your 14 appointments, and what do you think you did that led up to that point so you can have a bigger pipeline?
Let me see. So like last year, half my business is now referral based. Finally, like for portion like early on, it's probably mostly online leads.
Good.
Things that led up, I think it's just being seen and being out there. I promote myself pretty heavily on Instagram, which gets me a lot of my business comes from agents from all over the country.
Love that.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like one funny one you just brought up earlier, I got hated because I used to have 100 bus benches in Oakland. There's literally one like right down this block right.
We'll have to go over there later.
Yeah. So like when Oakland was developing or starting to grow, there was a lot of gentrification talk. So I was leveraging the bus benches, and I got the idea of the bus benches because I started doing Facebook ads promoting condo and new development in certain zip code, and people would start talking crap, and then it was really stressful at first. I would talk crap back to them in my way, and then I was like, this is hilarious, and then how do I get offline people to come online? So I create these benches. Oh yeah, that's one of the things that got me the award. That just says hashtag best agent on it. So I started with 10, then 20, then 30, 50, so on.
And if I remember correctly, you would share specific posts of people tagging it, graffiti, destroying
I saw like 5 messed up. They were like completely destroyed and ripped down. But now like just some like tagging on it. But one of the appointments I went on this Monday was like, I was like, hey man, how'd you find me? You always want to know like where your ROI is. Right? Like I saw, I think I saw this article, a newspaper like way back. I was like, dude, that was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, because you haven't done that anymore. Right?
No, I don't really promote. I was kind of leveraging all the haterism and public exposure to get more business, and it actually worked really well.
Love
but
that.
I don't really do that as much anymore.
And tell us a little bit about Fast Agent, where you came up with it, and what is it today?
Fast Agent. So my third year in the business, I had a BMW M5, the V10 one. I put a license plate on. It's called Fast Agent, like FS7 or whatever. And then on my way to eat sushi with a friend, I was like, I'm gonna just like create a. That was before hashtags were popular. There was Instagram wasn't big. Facebook had no hashtag. Only Twitter had it. I was like, I'm somehow get people to call me hashtag Fast Agent because hashtags are catchy. And,
right.
And then I started using that in all my posts, and then I started using that for my email marketing. And then early on, I started using Fat Agent, hashtag Fat Agent. So you go on hashtag Fat Agent, there's like probably like 300 pictures of food from my old Instagram from many years ago. So it was leverage that and get people to think it's funny because I was a buyer's agent, so I was driving around a lot, eating random places, and then so hashtag Fast Agent and Fat Agent, and then somehow I started nonstop promoting that.
You built a brand around that.
Yeah.
And you're big, it sounds like, on newsletters.
Yeah.
And you're very creative as well, from what I've seen. And you said you're also big on Instagram. How are you leveraging that today from what Instagram was at an earlier time, where maybe you had some people that weren't too fond of the park benches and everything? What is it today, and where do you envision it?
Before, I was like posting pictures of homes, posting pictures of foods. A lot of homes, because that's the thing to post. But now people don't do as much anymore. Posting the reviews, my sales, my accomplishments, because no one else was like doing that much business or being very social. Mm-hmm. So it's showcasing that. And then now Instagram, like on average, I have like 8,000 followers right now. On average, probably like 800 to 1,000 people watch everything I post, which is sometimes I post like 100 times a day if I'm going to conference. Mm-hmm. So now I'm kind of like a free real estate coach, and then I teach everything I do. I record everything. Like last night, I spent 2 hours, 1 hour and a half on my newsletter, and this morning I spent about an hour and a half. So I spent 3 hours on a Mailchimp. So today, this really cool email highlighting my move to EXP. Oh, I'm at EXP Realty now.
I think I saw something come through the inbox.
Yeah. So I've been here for a month now, but I haven't made like an official announcement.
Right.
I just finally had time to make that announcement today.
Okay, cool. And where do you see Fast Agent / Kenny Truong a year, 3 years from today?
That's hard to say because then the industry is changing so fast. Like iBuyers, things are just commission cutting referral websites. So right now, like I started #TeamFast about a year and a couple months ago. So like at this time last year, March, I maybe had 3 team members. Right now we have 17.
Nice.
So now we're all promoting #TeamFast. I'm able to recruit a lot of agents through like social media. So through social media, I probably have recruited about 80 agents. During my 4 years at Climb, I think I brought on somewhere between 60 to 70 agents to Climb Real Estate, just like passively posting what I'm doing, where I'm going. This is the script I use. We're meeting this client. This is strategy. This is what I'm competing against. This is what I'm working on. Like just all the nitty gritty back end of like a real estate, kind of like a vlog, but like just like real quick.
And one comment about that too is Climb at that time was only here in the Bay Area, really,
Yeah.
right? So now that you've aligned yourself with a new brokerage, it's a nationwide brokerage. Recruiting might be a little bit easier too.
I think so. So like at Climb, when I first joined Climb, like that 5th year in business, so I was Climb's real estate's first East Bay agent. They had 2 or 3 people that were working both sides, but I was like agent number 70. And from then I brought like almost 25 people, like with 30 people, 25, 30 people within 2 years. And it's funny because on the 5th year I won Inman Award as most innovative agent. Climb won most innovative brokerage. So it was like awesome. We were both on this roller coaster up, and then we knew we were doing it together.
Love that.
So I have huge respect for my old mentors, and managers like Chris Lim and Lynn Bell and Mark Choi and them. But that reign has ended because Climb has shut down a couple months ago. So at that time, I think it's a good opportunity to repeat what I've done there, but in a more and not this business model.
So it sounds like at least you're looking to grow the team.
Yeah, grow the team here locally. I filed legal Zoom, a DBA for Fast Real Estate, and I just got an email back today that Fast Real Estate got approved. So now I don't only have to put the ESP logo. Now I have a branding that says Fast Real Estate powered by ESP, and that's a friend. So no one's brought like an independent, unique brand to scale into EXP because no one's done it that way because everyone's trying to just leverage their team into a brand. But what I want to do is bring Fast Real Estate all across the world. And I have a partner in Sacramento. We connected last week, but hung out. I have a call with him tomorrow, so maybe Fast Real Estate will be in Sacramento.
Yep.
And
maybe other places too.
Yeah. Okay. I think because in the brand I'm with, ESP is definitely not very sexy. A lot of people hate the brand. Like that's the honest reality. But what if someone actually brought something different to the table? So when I came here, like everyone was probably like, "Oh my God, that sucks. You're probably not, your business is gonna crash." But I've had my biggest February I've ever had in my career this month, and that was before we just got an office 7 days ago. So I've recruited like 4 or 5 agents and went on like a dozen list appointments before I even had an office, like just homeless. So it does. So I think brands don't matter as much, but if brands don't matter much, but you're really good at branding, it's a very lethal combination. Like yourself, with Leung Associates now own real estate. It's just people are attracted to something that's different.
So what would you say, Kenny, if you're growing your team, what are some of the qualities or the values you look in the people for in the people that you would bring on?
Brave, not scared to try like new things. We're really big on social media. We super encourage agents to do that, to be unique, to be vocal, to be expressive, and like to be themselves. And then also, be passionate about definitely have to be passionate about your clients and what it is you do. If you're only in it for the money, then you're gonna live by check, and then you're happy, then you're sad, happy, you're sad. But like I don't know, every day I wake up, I'm super excited for work. Like I'd never have a boring day in real estate. Every day is something new. Like this stuff, I'll do this once every couple of months with like this. Hop on podcasts, fly somewhere, conference, network. It's just you have to make fun. Actually, fun is a really big I don't think fun is something many teams talk about enough, but
Yeah.
our team has a lot of fun.
Love that.
Not just partying and stuff, but like the environment is very like very exciting.
Love that.
Yeah.
And if you were talking to a new agent or an experienced agent, what are some tips one or two tips that you would give either one?
No, follow people you respect and like, and model after them. Get a little bit here, get a little bit there, and then that's why I've been able to grow my brand. Because I used to look up. I had a list of agents in my area I used to super look up to, like wow, this this is a very successful broker. He does a ton of business, has a good group following him, and everyone likes them. So I've always make sure I model myself after those agents.
Love that.
And now I've surpassed most of those agents in the sense now I model myself after bigger agents that are like in other states that are running like unique, very tight culture groups that are doing like really impactful in their market and doing it a different way.
Okay. And let's see, what is a tech tool or software or some sort of cloud-based thing that you're using that's really helping your business that some people might not know about right now?
Asana manages all of our listings. We use this thing called Airtable too, but Asana works too. Airtable, we use it to manage Asana manages the listing management, all the things you need to do, and then Airtable we track all the properties that we're interviewing for. So right now I'm probably talking to 150 to 200 sellers somewhere in that pipeline, and then we track our lockboxes there and track our open house schedules, and then we use Folio for email integration for timelines. We started using a new tool called Use Pillar. Like I don't know what do you guys use for website design?
We hired someone on Upwork actually.
Yeah, so like single property websites are a bit tricky now that we're independent-ish. So we tried Relay HQ. I saw some side real estate people do that, but now we're trying out Use Pillar, and I seem to like it.
Love that.
Superhuman email.
Yeah.
Superhuman email is probably my most productive tool. It sounds crazy to pay $30 a month for email, but Superhuman email is really clean interface, minimalistic. It lets you just power through your inbox with keyboards, shortcuts only, no mouse needed. And then it downloads all your emails offline. So I fly a lot. I fly like 120, 150 days a year. But when you're in an airplane with no Wi-Fi, you guys should get all your email done, like without skipping a beat. And when you do catch internet, it sends it out.
Love it.
So I just like being like super productive.
Love it. Thanks for sharing some of the things that you're using. I'm sure it's going to benefit the people that are listening and watching today. Any final words for the people that they want to learn and grow a team or
follow
business like
Kenny at Kenny_fast. Or if you're looking to interview with a team or trying something new, we're open to. We're definitely hiring.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that was quick.
Yeah.